we're testing quite a lot of applications with Squish, especially. The interesting thing is that oftentimes the applications that we test are so complex that they consist of a lot of sub-applications as well. So our tests that we provide for the client in the different domains often consist of more than one sub-application. For example, opening it, downloading a file, fill it with test data, upload it again, wait for a certain amount of time, check if the result is right, check if the result is even coming. And so luckily Squish is covering all of those needs pretty fine, so we are always getting the job done in time and budget. My name is Sebastian Katz. I am working as a team lead for Accenture Song in a beautiful office in Jena. I am managing a team of roughly 25 people working in software development and testing with a special focus on testing automation and software development with C++ and Qt. So our department has done software development for very different clients in different industries and departments. So we don't have a specific domain focus, but we are, for example, delivering test automation, but also software development in the domains of medical technology. We are also covering industry software as well as, for example, infrastructure or automotive industry as well. So it always depends on what the client wants. It always depends on the specific domain. Squish is always integrated in the development process the way it fits the best for the client's ecosystem. So oftentimes when we get into and we get in touch with the client already has an existing IT ecosystem, which means that the client oftentimes also has already a system with DevOps pipelines, deployment routines, version control systems, and something like that. We are trying to adapt to that. Oftentimes, Squish tests are part or will be part in the future as part of deployment processes or pull requests, for example, version controls. My favorite thing about Squish is that if you know where to search for, and if you have a bit of experience with it, you can do basically whatever is needed and whatever you want, the way you want it. I think that's a huge benefit in a project because oftentimes when you start a project with Squish, you are on a green field, so there's not that much set already. Oftentimes the client also just brought in Squish or made the decision to use Squish, which also triggers a lot of questions of how should a test suite be shaped, what kind of tests should be created at all in the first place, how complex should the tests be, how much complexity is too much complexity, and of course, the levels or the decisions are different with each client for each environment. Squish is not giving any regulations concerning that, so you can just adopt the technology and you can also adapt the terms and the language of the client while creating the test cases. And if you then get hands-on into the application, you can basically still do whatever is needed. Squish has thought of almost everything and almost every exception even that we had in the past. So we always found a solution for that, which is pretty amazing, which is pretty nice to work with. We began looking for an automation testing tool, I guess, due to the same reason most of the other clients do, because oftentimes you start with manual testing when your product is nice and easy and smooth and you mainly have the happy path to test. But at a certain point in time, your project becomes very complex, becomes very multi-layered. You have more than one person being responsible for it. So communication gets more complex, business processes get more complex, and so do applications. And obviously, the QA part, the testing of those applications has to grow with the growing complexity as well. And there's a certain point in every project where manual testing gets out of hand. And at a certain point in time, you are in need of a product to handle the complexity while also covering everything that is already there with existing tests, while also giving you the chance to scale and to grow your QA in different directions, to use new tools, to use new possibilities. And Squish obviously is a pretty good choice in that. Personally, I would like to have the frog icon back. It has been part of Squish for a long term. It got scrapped recently. Please bring it back. I like the frog.